Hey, welcome to Geek Speak. What you want to talk about, brother?
Did you hear about the passing of Dame Maggie Smith?
I don't even know who that is.
She is the actress that played Professor McGonagall in Harry Potter. She just
Oh,
passed
yeah?
away. Yeah,
Yeah.
like yesterday
Oh, really?
morning. Yeah,
Yeah, Harry Potter is like Star Wars for an entire generation.
there is a big following
And
for Harry Potter.
but for me, yeah, I watched them. I really enjoyed the first one. The rest of them were just meh. I didn't read any of the books, and I can't really tell you any of the
Well,
actors.
as far as her,
I can't even tell you who Harry Potter was.
you might
Who was Harry Potter?
you might remember her. She played Venus in what was it? The Titans, Clash of the Titans.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she played Venus.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I know who you're talking about.
There you go.
Well, so
It pays to be old.
yeah. So anyway, as you can tell, we're someplace different than we typically are, because Helen knocked my electricity out. So we're at Rob's house, and and we're not in his geek room because he's been working on it for how long now?
A year?
About a year. So I'd say another 6-7 years, and
Gotta be there.
we should film in there. And but we just got notification my electric come back on. So thank you, Bluegrass Energy.
Right?
So let's see. Have you ever seen the show Resident Alien?
No.
So it started on Sci-Fi, and it's got 3 seasons. It just got renewed for a 4th. It's actually a recommendation from my mother-in-law, and so she recommended it. And it's based on a comic book, and so it's about an alien who crash lands in Colorado, and his mission is to destroy the Earth. And his ship's damaged, and in the process of trying to get his ship repaired, he takes the form of a local doctor, and he gets to know everybody. And he's kind of reluctant to wipe out humanity.
Is that actor from that where he played
Firefly?
a pilot in Firefly?
Yeah. His name's Alan Tudyk.
Yeah, he uses that really weird voice.
yeah.
I think I've seen clips. Yeah.
I don't think he's Native American, but that's an awesome name. but anyway, yeah, he was in that. He was in. It seemed like something else I saw him in. But yeah, he's a good actor, and it's cool. And he does a great job at the role. And really, everybody does. And there's like 3 different actresses on the show that was on another show I liked. Native American actresses on a show that's called Reservation Dogs. And so yeah, it's a cool show. So if you get a chance to watch it, do. It's very good. I give it thumbs up. So what else you want to talk about, brother?
Have you or do you recall the cartoon called Over the Garden Wall? See,
Never even heard of it.
you all know about Over the Garden Wall. I know you do. So it was a cartoon put out by Cartoon Network, and it had I want to say anywhere from 10 to 13 episodes. It was only there for a short time.
Yeah.
But it had a great big following, done by the same people that did Adventure Time.
Yeah.
But they're literally talking about coming out. Actually, they're going to produce something for November of this year. And it's being done by the same people who do Wallace and Gromit. You know Wallace and Gromit?
Okay. Yes, I do.
Okay. So
Is it stop motion as well?
the cartoon wasn't.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that this is either going to be stop motion or it's going to be something like Flushed Away, which was computer graphics, which kind of looked like stop motion. So, I mean, if you're a fan of it, we've got something to look forward to. And it's been like 10 years.
And what's it called?
Over the Garden Wall.
Over the Garden Wall.
It's like a trippy dream state kind of weird cartoon.
Oh, really?
I got into it because the main character.
You're kind of
Well, no,
trippy
the main
in
character,
dream
his
state.
name's Wart, and he's dressed like a gnome. He's got a big red pointed hat and a blue jacket.
Yeah, and you guys may not know, but he's crazy over gnomes for some reason.
Right.
Let's see. Well, there's something I want to talk about before I do. Let's Heavy Metal Magazine. Remember that when we was growing up?
Right. I actually still have a couple of them.
And well, first of all, magazines have kind of disappeared. Heavy Metal magazine actually stopped publishing just last year. They've been publishing
Oh,
since
wow.
1977.
Crap.
And they did what a lot of magazines did that were struggling. They tried to go all digital. And but Heavy Metal magazine was a big deal growing up. It was like the Playboy magazine of comic books.
Right.
Because it was magazine size. It wasn't under the same rules as the Comic Code Authority did, Marvel, DC Comics.
Right.
So it come from a French magazine called Metal Hurlant, and the American version they called Heavy Metal. And so a lot of French and European artists who hadn't really broke through to the American audience did. And so like Milo Manara, he's fantastic. So there was Morbius and a bunch of others. But the magazine was like, for those that don't know, was like science fiction, cyberpunk, fantasy, erotica, all mixed together. And so as a kid, when you go to the magazine rack, they'd have your comics down here, and then they'd have your Heavy Metal magazine up a little higher,
Yeah.
where just the big boys could read it, the naughty boys. But I really enjoyed that magazine, and it was an anthology magazine that you'd have a story in there. It might be self-contained, or it might run a couple of issues, but they were all different types of artists, all different types of writers, and it was just a really enjoyable magazine because you just didn't know what you were going to get from month to month.
Right.
So what else you want to talk about, brother?
I know you're a John Wick fan.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the new advertisements for the Continental? There's going to be
a second season?
I don't know if it's a second season or if it is
a continuation.
A continuation. It actually has the original characters from the movies.
Yeah.
But there is an assassin, and her name is Ballerina. I think that's the name of the show.
Yeah.
It's called Ballerina.
Yeah.
It is kick-ass. If you haven't seen it, you're going to go, ah, when you do see it. Because I know you're a John Wick fan.
I love John Wick, but you enjoyed the Continental.
I did.
And me, I was just sitting there like, usually after we film these, we'll watch TV or something, and he always just is like, falls asleep. Well, we're watching the Continental. And I don't fall asleep watching stuff.
Right.
And I'm just like...
Well, I like things that have lore and backstory.
Yeah. I like the idea of the Continental. I like that it was set in the 1970s, but it was horrible. It was terrible, in my opinion. I would never watch that again. I regret watching it the first time. It's hours of my life I'll never get back.
I know Keanu Reeves is going to make an appearance in this.
So hopefully they'll do better with the Ballerina.
And I know that the guy who runs the Continental, he's playing a big role in it.
Yeah, the acting in the Continental wasn't bad. It was the writing. The writing was horrible.
Okay.
At the end of the day, that's what makes
you
it.
You all need to look up the trailer for Ballerina.
I will
show it to you.
I'll check it out.
When you see it, I know you'll be like,
yeah,
oh, that's good.
All right, I'll give it a try. So have you ever watched a show on Netflix that I just recently discovered by accident, and I feel embarrassed because I should have known about this. But it's called Love, Death, and Rockets. Love, Death, and Robots. Love, Death, and Robots. It sounds
familiar, but no, I'm not
Robert,
familiar.
you are going to love this. I will bet you $1.
Well, I don't have Netflix, so I'm not worried about it.
Well, then you're not going to like it then. It is fantastic. It is it's made by the same guys that made they were interested in continuing the Heavy Metal movies. And so they wanted to do like some type of animated anthology. The Heavy Metal magazine I just talked about also had a couple of movies.
Right.
And but yeah, so a guy named Tim Miller, he tried to make another Heavy Metal type movie, and it was in development hell for like 11 years. So finally he sold some rights to Netflix, and it's on 3 seasons. Started in 1999, and it's been renewed for another season. But the episodes might be 11 minutes, it might be 16 minutes, it might be 25 minutes, and so it's fantastic because if you're busy in your day and you just want to sit out and chill for a bit, you can sit down and watch one, and then it's over and done with in no time. So it's an anthology series. So each episode is done by a unique writer and a unique animator. The animation may be 2D, the animation may be 3D, or a mixture of both. But I mean, the stories are fantastic, and they're from one end of the spectrum to the other. They're all supposed to have a theme of either love, death, or robots. And so,
Yeah, I mean,
but
who
I
could
mean,
go
no,
wrong with
they're
any of those?
so good. I mean, the animation in there is just incredible, and some of them are. First of all, the only criticism they've gotten from any reviewers is that it's really violent, and but I'm a big fan of violence. So
So
works out good.
where's that going to air? Netflix?
It's on Netflix now. The
Oh, okay.
3 seasons is on Netflix now. And next time you're over, we'll watch some
Okay.
because, yeah, I haven't watched a bad one yet. I'm not completely through with the series, but I haven't watched a bad one yet. I mean, they're bizarre. And some of that animation in there, it is incredible.
Huh.
I mean, it's just off the charts. So, Love, Death, and Robots.
Robots.
Check it out.
All right.
Thumbs up. All right. You got anything else?
No.
You done?
Out the,
Okay, my comic book recommendation is I'm a Star Trek fan.
Right.
You absolutely are not. And my favorite character from the original series would be Spock. I always liked Spock.
All right.
And so IDW, who bless their heart, they're in such financial problem right now, and I hope they're able to pull out of it because a lot of my long boxes have IDW comics in them.
Huh.
But they come out with a series called Spock Reflections, and it's a good concept where he's on a transport. It's old Spock. He's on a transport, and he's on there with this guy that's just irritating the hell out of him. There's nobody else on the transport. And he'll go to the window every once in a while, and he'll just reflect on different moments of his life. So it's 4 issues, if I remember correctly. And you can pick them up for a little or nothing. The art's decent, and but the story's really, really well written. So it starts back when he was with Christopher Pike, and then it talks about when he was with Kirk, and then it goes back to when he was in the movies, and it goes back to when he was older, after Kirk's death. And so they're just really, really written well.
How long does a Vulcan live?
If you really think of Star Trek, I mean, Vulcans are like elves. So
Okay.
they live a long, long time. And your Klingons are like orcs. And so, I mean, yeah. But yeah, if you get a chance to pick those up, they're good reads. If you like Star Trek, you'll definitely like it. And if you like good stories, you'll like it too. But I always liked that Spock character. So you done, man?
I'm done.
All right, I think we're done. Hey, stay geeky.